So, guys, we are constantly bombarded and inundated by these online gurus teaching you how to make money online, how to make 10K a month online, 20K, 30K, 50K a month online. And it all sounds like the same old gripey thing where they're just trying to sell you your course, which is funnily enough, I know that's ironic because I do have a program, a course, if you want to call it that. I mean, who doesn't? Which creator on the planet honestly doesn't? And I've noticed that there's one common denominator between all of them. Every single one of them creates content online, puts out free value, actually has a valuable skill to present to the world, and then they sell information products around that. So my point is this: why try to fight that route? And you can see that these dudes are getting rich selling information products, courses, mentorship stuff. And I'm trying to bring to you guys, like, why try to fight that when you can obviously see that's a very good path to wealth if you actually do it correctly, ethically, and you sell things that actually change people's lives. Now, in today's video, I want to break down just real quick how much money you actually need in order to achieve your dream lifestyle. I'm going to break it down into 3 different tiers. Tier 1 is basically replacing your 9-to-5 job and firing your boss so you never have to work ever again. Tier 2 is what I like to call the kind of like thriving stage. You're kind of like in between having made it and kind of like made it, and you're very nice and comfortable. Please do not get stuck there, by the way. And then tier 3 is kind of like where you've achieved your dream apartment, your dream car, and you're kind of comfortable and you've pretty much achieved the top 10% or even top 5% of income out there. So without any further ado, let's jump straight into my computer here. So hopefully you guys can see me on my computer. Hopefully you can enjoy these presentations just real quick, and let me know if you guys like this style of video, by the way. So how much money do you actually need to make in order to achieve your dream lifestyle? Do you need to make 5K a month? Can you get by on 5K a month? Do you need to make 15K a month? Is it 50K a month? Or is it like what these gurus are saying where they're trying to teach you how to scale to 100K a month? Do you actually really need to be hitting these ridiculous numbers at 50K a month, 100K a month? And again, just last month, just so you guys know, I pulled in around 73 grand in revenue. That's US dollars, by the way, in about 32-ish days. So just over a month and 1 day, I believe it was. And I think cash collected on that was around £47,000, which you guys will see. And it didn't always start like that, guys. Honestly, this is genuinely where I started. And funnily enough, I posted this image here on my actual Facebook about a year ago, and the actual landlord of the building that me and my girlfriend at the time, you know, she was actually renting this place. This was back when I was completely broke, guys. Couldn't even afford rent, and I literally had to live off of a woman. It literally was the most embarrassing stage of my entire life. I was completely broke, didn't have any money, and this is literally the room I started my entire business in. In fact, this is me actually doing a cold call to a business. It's a restaurant in Sheffield. I'm based in Sheffield, by the way, and this is the room that I literally used to just live in all day, every day. This was my original bedroom at my parents' house, and I actually ended up having continuous arguments with my parents day in, day out, right? To the point we ended up having like this very explosive argument, and I said, you know what, enough's enough, and I completely snapped. My parents completely snapped. It was like we just both had enough of each other, and we had this massive argument, and I'll never forget it. It was actually on my dad's birthday. So it was like January the 5th going into the 6th of January at like 4 a.m. in the morning, years ago. I think this was actually back in 2018. Yeah, it was 2018, the 5th of January. I actually ran away from home. I had a bag on my back with my laptop in it, my charger, my phone charger, headphones, and 3 packets of ramen noodles. I am not even joking. I have the video somewhere, so hopefully I'll post it somewhere. If you've watched any of my free trainings, you've probably seen the actual video. I ended up running away from here. This is where I kind of like started, ran away, and then ended up having to build my business in this room here. Funnily enough, this was actually a 4-bedroom share house. It was a 4-bedroom house, and it was shared between me, my girlfriend at the time, and like 3 other university students that was going to Sheffield Hallam University. If you guys know what that is, you know what it is. I dropped out of Sheffield Hallam. It was honestly terrible. No offense to Sheffield Hallam or anything like that, but uni is just honestly just a huge scam, to be fair. And we were I was working, should I say, on this particular little desk here, and that's my laptop. And as you can see, there's a little Lamborghini on the front of the laptop. I actually have that picture on one of my vision boards, funnily enough. And that's a chair I was working on. And it was just me locked in this room for like 6 hours a day just trying to do cold calls. This is me. As you can see, I don't look good whatsoever. And then this is me creating my first piece of content. At this point in my life, I literally had like 2K worth of debt from a friend because I tried to start a clothing line. Funnily enough, this is the actual clothing line sample piece, one of the actual pieces. It's not that great, to be honest with you, when I look back at it, but you know, I was still trying. It's just funny to see how far I've come, because I've gone from that to now achieving pretty much my dream life. Like just the other day, I was able to take, this is actually not even the actual bill itself, this is just the actual food bill. This is a different day, but I took my family out I take my family out all the time, to be honest with you. Like just the other day, I spent like $600 on like a meal for my family. In fact, just the other day, we was actually in a restaurant out in Newcastle, and we actually it was in a 5-star steakhouse. Like it's one very renowned steakhouse. It's called Gaucho's, very renowned for its like steaks and stuff like that, and just high-end cuisine. And we actually ended up getting a back room, a private room in the back of the actual restaurant. It was absolutely amazing for my friend's birthday. There's me back when I used to drink alcohol, you know, enjoying life. There's the dream car being able to pick up. There's literally money going into my bank account. As you can see, 468,000 British pounds. That's my actual bank account, by the way. It's literally a screenshot of my bank. Here's the transaction last month I was talking about, where we collected around 47,126 pounds in cash collected. There's me in my dream apartment. It's like 1,000 square foot, this place that I'm recording this video in. And like I said, it didn't always start like this. It was just me in this horrible, dingy, messy room with rats in the loft, trying to bust out cold calls, trying to build a social media marketing agency, all whilst documenting kind of like what I'm learning and why I want to become an entrepreneur from $0 online. Funnily enough, my first ever video, I believe I say in my first ever video that I want to become an entrepreneur just to see if I can genuinely make something of my life. And in the back of my head, I was thinking like, I've seen all these make money online messages from these gurus, right? I want to kind of like just gain it. My life's gone to shit anyway. This is my thought process. My life's gone to shit anyway. I might as well just try and see if these get rich quick schemes are all just scams, see what actually happens if I buy into them, and actually just try making money online. So I ended up jumping into a few business models like dropshipping, that sort of stuff. SMA was after dropshipping, and lo and behold, I actually started making money. So these business models do actually work. It's just that sometimes the way they're marketed isn't the most ethical way, I'll be honest with you. Now, let's talk about the actual 3 different tiers in order to achieve your dream life. So we've got kind of broken down into 3 tiers. I believe I took this from Tony Robbins, one of his actual books. I think it's called Money Master the Game. I read this book maybe back in 2018, I believe it was. And it was a great book on just like learning how money works, how to master money. And it shows you that you don't really need as much money as you genuinely think in order to achieve like your dreams lifestyle. Now, if you want to drive a brand new Porsche, brand new BMW, brand new Audi, those sorts of cars, you want to fly private, you want to fly on private jets, you want Rolexes and stuff like that. I know it sounds like it's going to be expensive, but if you actually do the maths, it's actually cheaper, for example, to charter a jet. He mentions this in the book. So it actually doesn't work out to be that much. So it's obtainable. It really is achievable and obtainable. And I'm not here to try and tell you that it's going to be easy or say you want to get rich quick. I'm just telling you. I wouldn't say it's easy, and that sounds kind of pretentious actually. I'd say it's simpler to achieve than what you think. So don't misconstrue my words. So let's talk about tier 1, replacing your income. So I just basically quickly just Googled, right? The average salary in the US for somebody who's 25 years old. Now I know that my audience watching this are around like 18 to 25 to about 18 to 25 to maybe around 30 years old, 35 years old. If you're older than that or younger than that, apology, I'm just looking at the statistics on my actual channel. So I'm just going to take kind of like the medium number and just go with like a 25-year-old watching my videos. So I noticed that the average like 20 to 25-year-old, I believe it said, if we go back, excuse me, it says that on the median average, again, the average, you don't want to look at averages because averages factor in everybody, and then it boosts up the people that are kind of like making lower income versus the people that are making like $1 million a month. So averages are kind of not a great way to look at statistics, to be honest with you. You want to look at what you call medians. A median is kind of like the middle number. I know averages and medians, you guys can go and Google the definition and what the difference is between the average and median, but there is a difference, and it's a significant difference as well when it comes to statistics. The median salary for individuals aged around 20 to 24 is around $37,000 US per year, right? So You guys, if you're making around 37 grand a year from any sort of business, honestly, I just want to stop here and give you a huge round of applause and a pat on your back, because it took me ages to even, first of all, even get there myself. But it's not about me, it's about you. Like, that's genuinely a great achievement. Like, you should genuinely be proud of yourself, because a lot of business owners don't even get that. As you know, the statistics, like 90% of businesses fail in the first like 1 to 5 years. So to even be making around 30, even just to replace your income from a business, honestly, is an amazing feat. So if you're able to even replace your income and get to tier 1, honestly, it's an amazing feat. But I also want you to hold this in regard that your dream lifestyle is not actually as far away as you think it actually is. Because I know that we're constantly bombarded with this message that you need to be like Iman Gadzhi at the age of like 18, and you need to be making 200 million even I got compared to like one of the greatest marketers of all time. Like, Iman Gadzhi is literally one of the greatest marketers of all time. Not to suck his ass or anything like that, but what he's been able to achieve for his life is not normal. It's against the norm. Like, he's an exception to the rule, and the exception doesn't make the rule. He's literally has a net worth higher than like Elon Musk, I believe, at his age. He has a higher net worth than like Warren Buffett, for sure. If you actually Google Warren Buffett's net worth, he actually doesn't start making a lot of his millions until like after the age of like 35, I believe it is, 40 or something, 40, something like that. So to even be compared and contrasted to these types of people, honestly, just shows me what I needed to hear, put it that way. So tier 1 is replacing your 9 to 5 income. And this, honestly, is probably going to be the most freeing tier. Because honestly, I can tell you right now that I've hit like 96K in a month. That's like one of my records. And I'm telling you, like, I just didn't know what to do with the money after like 35K a month. It doesn't make more of a massive impact. It's really weird how it works. And I've heard people say that as well, and I didn't believe them. I was like, you know what, let me just go and hit my 60K months, 70K months, 80K months, and then I'll come back to you and tell you. And it's actually true. It doesn't really make that much of a difference. What makes most of a difference is these first 2 tiers I'm about to show you. So replacing your income from your 9 to 5, let's say your income is around 3.2K a month. What I recommend, right, is building out your business, doing everything you can, putting all your willpower into your business, right? And obviously this is going to be difficult because you actually have to work a 9 to 5 job and build a business at the same time. So it's going to be difficult. I know that. I'm not saying that I can't go into all these different nuances, or the video would literally be probably take me like 50 minutes just to create this video. What I suggest you aim for is, before you decide to quit your job, I want you to get to a point where you're able to double your income from your business. If you're making 3.2K a month from your 9 to 5, or you're making 2.5K from your 9 to 5 a month, I want you to build a business like 5K a month, and then hold that 5K a month for at least 3, 4, 6 months ish. Then also what I want you to do is do not live lavishly. When you start hitting like 4K a month, let's say you're making 2K a month from your job, double it, you're making 4K a month from your business, do not just quit straight away. I want you to stack up money and have all of your expenses. So what I want you to do is pull out a piece of paper, right? Grab a pen, write down your expenses line by line, every single expense. In fact, the best thing to do is pull up your banking app on your phone and see every transaction that went out last month, to get an idea, like the last 3 months, and take an average of that particular number of how much you're actually spending on a month-to-month basis, and then add like 20% on top of that just for taxes, tax reasons, that sort of stuff, just to be on the safe side of cushion. And then what I want you to do is take that number and then double it, and then that should be your initial aim for your business. So let's say you've spent 2.5K in a month on expenses, rent, food, bills, utilities, going out, that sort of stuff. It's 2.5K a month, right? What I want you to do is take that number down and then double it. So your initial aim will be 5K. Then what I want you to do is take the 2.5K that you spent and times it by about 4 to 6. Honestly, you want about 4 to 6 months worth of expenses in your bank. You actually want a business that makes double your 9 to 5, plus you've got your 4 to 6 months of cash reserves in your bank for a rainy day. And here's the thing about rainy days. Rainy days always come. Rainy days I want you to factor in, knowing going into business that everything that will fail or can fail will fail. Anything bad that can happen will happen. I forgot what that's called. I think that's called Occam's razor or something like that. I forgot what the actual term is, but it's a saying that like anything bad that can happen will eventually happen. So prepare for it anyway. It's a great way to live. It's a very stoic saying, I believe it is. And now we've got tier 2. So once we've actually achieved tier 2, that's when we can start living a little bit lavishly now. This is where the actual new apartment comes. The new apartment comes, you start moving out, you start kind of like, I would call this almost like thriving. You're kind of almost starting to get into that thriving stage for sure. So let's say you upgrade your place and your rent is around $3,500 a month. I'm not too sure what the rents are like over in the US. I know that it's not cheap, especially if you're in places like New York. So obviously factor that in. I can't factor in for every single state and every city within those states. So it's going to be impossible to make a video like this. I just want to give you a kind of like the overall gist of this. So tier 2 would be like upgrading your place. Maybe you got to pay some more tax, as you always do. That's the only two things certain in life is death and taxes. You got utilities, so let's say that comes out to around $700. Again, I'm just eyeballing these. I'm not too sure what it is. Let's say you start eating out a little bit more. You start enjoying some Uber Eats. You start enjoying some steaks here and there. Who doesn't love enjoying, beautiful steak with some red wine? Honestly, one of my favorites, even though I stopped drinking. So you start enjoying life, enjoying food. You start traveling a little bit more. Maybe you start picking up some clothes, nothing too crazy, no designer stuff. I don't recommend you start spending money on designer stuff. So realistically, you want to be making around 5.3K after tax, right? And what I want you to aim for this one is, now that you've got all these expenses out the way, is to double it as well. So I want you to be making building a business at least around 10.6K per month in profit. Revenue doesn't do anything. Revenue's a glorified cool number to throw on screens, right? That's why I like to talk about cash collected. Cash collected is the actual money I made that particular month, and it was 47,000 British pounds, whatever that is in USD. I believe it's just under 60,000 USD, and the actual revenue number, by the way, comes from split pays. So people will split all payment. So your aim is to double your expenses for tier 2. Now we've got tier 3. The reason why I've broken this down into tier 3 is because now we're starting to get into like a lifestyle where it's like you've actually made it. Like, I know that it sounds weird to say this, but to make it in life, like even if you just Google like the top 1% of like, or even the top 10% of people, they're making like 100 grand to maybe 150 grand a year, something around that. Especially over in the UK, the incomes are actually quite low compared to Americans. Like for example, a doctor over here in the UK makes around 38,000 British pounds, whereas a doctor in America can make over 500 grand a year, 600 grand a year, 700 grand a year, even $1 million a year. I know this because I broke down a case study of a guy called Ali Abdal. He was making around 38,000 pounds working for the NHS, and he was literally one of Cambridge's #1 graduates out of university. He was studying medicine. He became a doctor and started the whole YouTube thing and content career and selling low ticket digital products and affiliate marketing. And now he's gone on to make around $4.6 million a year just through building a personal brand on YouTube. There you go. So tier 3, upgrade your place again. Let's say you've actually got your dream place now, it's 5 grand a month. You've got tax and utilities. Let's say that's around 1.5K a month, could be 2K. You factor it in for your numbers. You start enjoying life, traveling a little bit more. Let's say you spend around 2 grand a month on that. And honestly, you can live quite nicely off of 2 grand a month. Like flights aren't really that expensive. If you want to do some more traveling, enjoying more life, as they say, increase this to 3K. Let's say you enjoy some wining and dining, or you don't like wining and dining, where you can take that money and put it into the enjoying life in terms of traveling, flying out to the south of France, enjoying the views out there, maybe still sipping a little bit of wine on the beach. I miss wine so much, funnily enough. And let's say you want to drive a brand new Porsche. Well, I can tell you my Porsche right now is costing me around £1,114 just for the actual finance fee. I believe it's called not the leasing fee, because it's a little bit different over here in the UK. It's the PCP. I actually have a HP, hire contract car, basically, which is the most tax efficient way to do that, by the way, which is why your gurus don't buy. If you actually take any good business book about finances and read it about owning stuff, the rich don't own stuff. The rich don't actually own stuff. The only thing that they own are things that they rent out. Houses that they own, that's passive income being made on those properties. They don't own cars, they lease them. Only people that think it's cool to buy cars cash are broke people on social media. They'll say stuff like, oh, it's a rental, or oh, you're leasing a car. Like, do you know how much it costs in tax just to have a car like that and you buy it outright? Do you know how much money it costs you to take money from your business, corporate business, into personal accounts and then buy a car outright? Do you know how much money in tax it costs? That's how you know people aren't financially savvy. The only people that aren't financially literate will say stuff like, oh, you're leasing a car. It's crazy to even say that. But anyway, long story short, you need around $11,250 per month after tax, right? Obviously, you can't avoid the tax, man, so always factor that in. So I actually aim, when you're at tier 3, aim for at least 3x your expenses. I don't know why. This is just a general rule. I heard this probably from Tony Robbins' book as well. If you can't afford it 3 times over, you can't afford it. That's the rule I like to live by. I personally like to live by. And honestly, I don't even spend even close to $11,250 per month, and I make way more than 34 grand a month, you know, on average, well, especially last month as well, for sure, no doubt about it. So yeah, guys, honestly, this is the kind of like route you should go down. Now let's talk about how to actually get there, because you're not going to get to 34 grand a month in a reasonable time frame with a 9-to-5 job. Let's be honest. Let's genuinely cut the crap. Let's get real. You're probably not within the next 18 months going to scale to 34 grand a month from a 9-to-5 job, unless you're doing something crazy and the company goes, I don't know. I mean, it probably could be possible, but you've probably got you got a better chance building a business. So let me just break down some business vehicles for you that you can actually try and get into. So you've got stuff like SMA, dropshipping, becoming a content creator online, aka building a personal brand, which is my favorite, by the way. Out of all the businesses that are on this list, I've tried quite a few of them. Affiliate marketing, you've got Amazon FBA, you got flipping items on eBay. I don't know if that's a great viable way to do this. Or you got low ticket digital products, which again is one of my favorite methods for people coming in, starting to build a personal brand and actually monetizing that. And I just want to highlight my favorite. So we've got SMA. That's how I made my first ever 10K a month online, my first ever 6-figure and multiple 6-figure business. I achieved my dream life kind of with SMA, and then built a personal brand out off the back of that, to be honest with you. And now I just do the whole personal branding stuff. I think it's a much better business model, to be honest with you. It's more unique, it's less saturated, high profit margins, and you have a larger impact, and you can leave a legacy. You got dropshipping, you got content creation, building a personal brand, again my favorite. You got affiliate marketing. This is a great kind of like supplement to your personal brand. I don't see affiliate marketing as a real business, by the way. I see it as like a add-on income stream to a business. So for example, a personal brand, that's a business that garners you attention. It's like a marketing business. You are the product, or almost. You're almost the product yourself. You become the actual product, and you can recommend certain software. For example, if I recommend Go High Level for SMA owners, I get a kickback off of that. Then you've got Amazon FBA. Never tried Amazon FBA, to be honest with you. I've tried flipping stuff on eBay, and low ticket digital products. I've made a lot of money from digital products as well, and I recommend you start looking into creating your own digital products. And the key behind all of this, making money online stuff, honestly, if you see what the common denominator is between all these gurus, and you know, not to call Alex Hormozi a guru or anything like, or any of these gurus, but around the internet you will see a lot of people talking about how to make money online, this thing, that thing, this thing. And don't get me wrong, remain skeptical, of course, when it comes to these online programs, that sort of stuff on the internet. But I've noticed that a lot of people are starting to use online programs as a cop-out, or calling them a scam as a cop-out, because it allows you to remain in your comfort zone. Because if you start questioning what if it's not a scam, then you start looking at your life a little bit differently, and you start actually having to take it seriously. So it's just easier to call it a scam and go on with your day, to be honest with you, is what I've noticed. So yeah, guys, honestly, the number one common denominator though that I've seen with all of these dudes is that the best thing you can do online is to build yourself an audience, be known for a skill or transformation, actually get good at that thing, and then sell that thing back in the form of digital products, information products, coaching, mentoring, that sort of stuff. Each one of these guys on the internet right here either sell ebooks, which is information, they sell courses, again, information, or they sell mentoring, information. And a lot of them on this screen right here make a lot of money. I think each one of these is probably worth more than, well, I think Iman Gadzhi is now worth more than like 80 million to 100 million, probably, the time of you watching this, or whenever you're watching this. I know you're going to do some amazing things. As you can see, guys, the common denominator between all of them is they went from the ones consuming the information to the ones selling the information. So that's the point I'm trying to bring to you guys through the Personal Brand Academy as well, which is my brand new program itself, which is ironically enough a program that teaches you how to go from the ones buying programs and buying information to the ones selling information. I'm kind of tired now of people buying into business models that are old, outdated. But here's the thing, the way how you bought into those business models was you followed somebody online, listened to their message online, resonated with them, saw that the business model kind of made sense, and then you bought into their program and information, and that's how they make all their money. So I said to myself, I've kind of like, quote unquote, done this whole made it thing online. I've crossed my first $1 million online. How do I actually really now just help a bunch more people? Because that's all I've ever wanted to do with this YouTube channel, just literally document and just help show people what works and what doesn't. So I said to myself, you know what, I'm just going to create a program on how these gurus are getting rich and how you can actually go about beating them at their own game. So that's what the Personal Brand Academy is. Shows you how to become a content creator, how to build your own audience up around the informational products, and how you do this actually legitly and authentically. That's the idea behind this. So I don't want none of you guys thinking that this is a program teaching you how to, a course on course selling. No, it's about how to actually leverage and build skills, what I call self-actualizing. So you actually improve your life first, your own life first. You then take those unique frameworks that you've been able to develop over the years, over the months, you put them into a either low ticket digital product. You can leverage your brand to sell affiliate marketing stuff if you wanted to, if you don't have any sort of like information in your head whilst you're actually learning new skills. So it's about learning new skills, packaging those skills up, becoming known for those skills on the internet, and then selling those skills back in an ethical way. I think that's the most legit business you can ever get into if you actually think about it, because you're selling information on things that you already know how to do. It's not just like SMA where you're kind of pretending you know how to do Facebook ads to businesses, and then you're kind of like running Facebook ads and you've never run a Facebook ad before. Well, in this particular case, it's like you actually learn how to do Facebook ads, you develop actual skills within the first Facebook ads realm, and then you sell the actual idea of how to actually run successful Facebook ads, because nobody knows how to run successful Facebook ads, and you've got your own system to do that, your own unique way of doing it. Or let's say you've gone through a nasty divorce, or you've quit smoking weed and you've got a transformational program that helps other people stop smoking weed. So it's going to lead on to a bigger impact, and that's what the Personal Brand Academy is. It's designed to help you build out your own personal brand, so you can either sell low ticket digital products, information products, educational products, coaching if you really wanted to go down that route. You don't have to go down that route. Or just building a brand itself so you can actually pull in clients for any type of business, really. If it's a social media marketing agency, help you get clients through that. If it's a low ticket digital product, help you get clients through that. If it's a coaching business, help you get clients through that. This is the new wave of how to really make money online, guys. And I wanted to bring this to you guys at a discount as well. So for the first kind of like 30-ish people, I'm doing like maybe Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Don't really do deals. For the first like 30 people that enrolls into this, I've already had 30 people on Instagram do this, but now I'm doing it on YouTube. For the first people from YouTube to actually click the link in the description, you're going to get this at only 495 euros. I have to charge in euros apparently, which is half the price. So you get $500 off. And just to say thank you and to say that I love every single one of you guys, I'll also throw in my other program, which is Agency Transmutation, in for completely free, and you get lifetime access to both of those programs for the price of half of one, which is absolutely insane. So the link will be in the description. Enough plug-in. If you guys want to really beat the gurus at their own game and go from the ones buying information to the ones selling information, that's the real money maker. Let's be honest, guys, is to sell everybody in a gold rush. Don't sell gold, sell the shovel, as you say. I'm going to show you how you actually sell the shovel, but in an ethical way that actually helps people. That's the point of the Personal Brand Academy. Anyway, guys, love you guys. Don't forget to drop a like, comment, subscribe. Honestly, your dream life is not as far away as you think it is. Peace.